Death is not always easy to talk about, but it's something that we all share in our lives. With Scott, his death came to all of us too soon and unexpectedly. Scott had a strong faith in God, but he always said he wanted to pass away before the rest of us. Unfortunately, this time came earlier than we had hoped. As we grieve today, we should feel comfort in the sense of peace knowing that Scott is now free from his inner demons and his worries that battle him most of his adult life. Scott, growing up, Scott's childhood was pretty typical kids. We'd go on bike rides and adventures, riding out all the way out to Bush Lake and climb up on the ski jumps, and then out to Fort Snelling and an old army tank. We'd go out and crawl around and play. Played Little League baseball. Probably the highlight for my mother, because Scott was the pitcher and I was the catcher, so it made my mom proud. We'd go on long family vacations. We had an old camper. We'd go to South Dakota, Colorado, and all the way out to California, staying at every KOA that we'd come across and enjoying our time. I look back at my father and I felt sorry for him now, because he was the only one that could drive the old pickup truck, 3 on the tree, AM radio, no air conditioning, but we went out together as a family, and it was always enjoyable. Probably Scott's one of his favorite vacations that we took was he got a chance to go to Hawaii with mom and dad, and he really enjoyed that. As a young adult, Scott was proud of his 1968 blue Firebird that he loved to drive. He would tell Jen and Emily of his own personal adventures and remind them to drive safely. Scott was also very observant, telling us the maintenance that was required on our cars. Judy, your tires are low, the treads are low. And if he's here today, he'd say, Emily, your license stamps are due this month. He loved the sports. Working at the Med Center, I was always able to get tickets. And so Scott and my dad would go to the North Star games and watch those events, and they enjoyed that. Wrestling was another one of his favorites. He even took Judy and I to a wrestling match, watched Vern Gagne against Mad Dog Vachon, and we had a great time. But he most enjoyed the Vikings. Scott would shout out, "Throw the bomb," when the quarterback would fade back to pass, always hoping for a Viking Super Bowl appearance, like the rest of us. He loved frisbee and playing catch. He would challenge us occasionally on sprinting down the street to see who was the fastest. He was quite the athlete, or at least he thought he was. Scott enjoyed listening to music, always having his transistor radio on, old school, Scott would say. He enjoyed the Beach Boys, Simon and Garfunkel, Coldplay, and all the classics. At one time, he even suggested Queen. Another one bites the dust. Might be a good song for his funeral. Sorry, Scott. What was most truly important to Scott was his family. Being able to come out and spend time with us, watching a game, having a dinner. He'd even help out with yard work. After he mowed, I would have to go out and re-mow the areas because he left a lot of patches out there. But he enjoyed being out with us as a family. Dinners consist of Taco Bell, but he was content just spending time. He would joke with the girls and had his own favorite names he used to call them: Poopsie Joe and Truck Driver. We all know Scott battled mental health issues. I would try to call him at least once a night. Our conversations were typically short, but maybe last for a few minutes. But he always he always asked how everyone was doing and would put his mind to rest, for he was ever worrying. A news report would come on TV, an accident might have happened in Iowa, and he'd still call to check to see if we're all doing okay. The past week I was reminded from friends and family what a good brother I was, trying to help him out on his journeys. But I just want to say thank you, because I couldn't have done it alone. I noticed my mom and dad did the best while they were living, and then Aunt Sue was like an angel, came down to help. Judy and Scott would refer to good old JR, and Jen and Natalie for their unconditional love for Scott. And then there's Trish. Just give thank you, Trish, social worker. She might have known Scott better than most of us, or all of us. Spent a lot of time with him. Scott would always say, "What would I do without Trish?" But it was us who always said, "What would we do without Trish?" And then finally, Epiphany Care Homes, where Scott was there for almost the last 2 years. They took incredible care of him, so he was really blessed that way. I will miss my brother, and will grieve more in the days to come. I find comfort knowing that Scott finally had peace. And life is fragile, and it's a gift. It's up to all of us to make the most of each day. It's not guaranteed to anyone, so take the peace of my brother in his life and live yours more full in the days and years to come. Thank you.